What's up, Casselberry? Welcome to episode 169.
Woo! Woohoo!
I am joined in the studio by Andy Searles, Carlos Pereiro, and we are missing still again very much Miss Alia Ray. Please feel better. Come back soon.
Yes, we miss you, but thank you for not sharing your germs with us today. We're grateful for that. Let's jump in with just like a little kind of catch up. Let me ask a question as this episode drops. We are around the time when we are celebrating the great Martin Luther King. What is your favorite Martin Luther King quote? And what do you remember about that great man?
So for me, it is darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. As I was looking through the different writings of Dr. Martin Luther King, that one stood out for me because Gemma had recently been asking me about the song This Little Light of Mine. Mm-hmm. And I was explaining how by yourself, a small light may not do a ton, but as you're with others and you can share your light through the world. And yeah, I think that's a good kind of word for going into 2025 of being that light in your community and surrounding yourself with people who can be a light to the community as well.
I love it.
That was actually mine.
Yeah.
Favorite quote. And I'm going to stick with it.
Go for it.
But I think, I try to remember that even though I wasn't born the time he was living, that wasn't that long ago.
No, for sure.
And there's still so much work to do to make the world he dreamed of come true. And I would always want to be part of the solution for that.
Mm. I think that's good. I listen every year to the full I Have a Dream speech. It really was an incredible speech where he cast a beautiful, compelling vision for the future. So that's one of my, I think, probably favorite speeches of all time. But my favorite quote is maybe a little bit unusual. A couple of years ago, we went to Washington, D.C., and they've got this like little memorial park just off the mall. And to get there, you kind of walk through these two stones. And it really is incredible. I'm reminded of his quote about hope, where he says, "Out of the mountains of despair, there is a stone of hope." And I often remember that because life can be tough. But even when life is tough, it doesn't mean it's the end. And there is always hope for us. So just before we wrap up this little ice-breaking section, what's one thing that you think we could do to help that vision come true?
I think choosing to be kind as many times as you can be in any situation that you're involved in. You'll always run into difficult people or difficult situations, and choosing the path that leads towards kindness is hard sometimes, but at the end of the day, that's what works out best.
I think you just never know what anyone is going through. Mm-hmm. And your kindness could be something that means so much to something, even if it was like holding the door open or complimenting somebody or something so insignificant to you that you almost don't realize you did it because you're just a kind person, but that meant everything to the person. So, at least me, you don't realize sometimes the things you do that aren't as kind. And I think just also being aware of what you do. And how you interact with people.
For me, it puts me on a quest to get to know people who are different from me.
Yeah.
Because there's so much we can learn until we understand people. We can't really love people well. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to do a better job of that. So, listener, we would encourage and challenge you in your own small way to do something to honor MLK as we celebrate his life at this season. All right, let's move on. Favorite section of the week for some, dad jokes of the week. Carlos, it's just you and me again. Our goal is to make Robin laugh.
You can do it.
Would you like to start?
Well, we were just talking about a great speech that we heard and how great of an orator Martin Luther King was. So I wanted to grow in that as well. And I had asked for a thesaurus for Christmas, and it got stolen.
Oh no.
I was so mad. Not only was I mad, but I was also mad. And but beyond that, I was mad. I couldn't use my thesaurus. So.
That's a very smart joke,
That is
too.
a smart
you get
joke.
extra points for that.
Okay, well, if we're on the subject of smart jokes, I will go the other way. I gave my handyman a to-do list.
Oh.
10 things on it. He only did jobs 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. You know why?
Why?
He only does odd jobs.
Nice. So while you were telling your joke, I had texted June earlier and asked her if she stole my thesaurus. And she just texted me back. She says she's shocked. She's aghast. She's appalled and she's dismayed that I would even ask her that.
He's getting better.
Very good. Very good. Actually, just to wrap up with this to see if I can steal Robin's laughter, as Carlos has clearly won the competition. Robin, over Christmas, I learned that there was a neck decorating contest.
Neck decorating. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You know who won?
Who?
Nobody.
Nobody.
No, that's not it. Wait for it. Nobody, because it's a tie.
All right. I maybe ruined the delivery. Sorry about that.
All right, listen, let's go from the fun to the silly to the serious. And we have a little bit of Casselberry in the news. It looks like BJ's Superstore, is that what you call it?
Mega's Wholesale.
Wholesale, that's
There
the
we
word
go.
I was looking for, is finally coming to Casselberry after some very intricate maneuvers that has seen one company buy out the land and then I think rent it to BJ's and so that BJ's can build it the way they want, not the way that maybe the original owner wanted it. So all very confusing with lots of twists and turns. And I have been more than ready for that ever since Sam's left us.
I am also ready for that, considering that my favorite 7-Eleven had to close in preparation for this store. And yet, years later, it still hasn't come.
I do believe that BJ's is going to have their own gas station.
I know, that's why it
And
closed.
you know, wholesale clubs, gas station is normally a little bit cheaper too.
Yes.
So your patience might be rewarded if, in fact, you had any patience, which it doesn't sound like you had much of.
Okay, but that was my favorite 7-Eleven.
What? Can we ask why?
Yes. It used to be, well, when I lived in the apartments over there, I could walk to it. B, the gummy bears just tasted different. Don't ask me why. They just did. All the staff knew my name when I went in for my gummy bears and coffee. And also, I have won several scratch-offs that were bought there. And I believe it was the Lucky Charm there.
So BJ's, welcome to Casselberry. We are glad you're here and we can't wait for you to move in.
If you would like to sponsor the What's Up Casselberry podcast, please reach out to producer Robin.
Every time we mention a company name, you have that line.
We're giving them free advertising.
Food, free stuff. Wow, that's great. All right, so you've heard the news, you've heard the jokes, you've caught up on us. Let's get to the best part of the show by far, where we have an extraordinary lady coming to share with us about some incredible work that's happening in our county. Listeners first, though, here's a word from our sponsor. We want to thank our sponsor, the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce, who works tirelessly to unite businesses and fuel our economy within our city. The Chamber of Commerce meets on the first Wednesday of every month at the Metro Life Church in Casselberry. We would love for you to partner with them and celebrate all the good things that they do within our community. Thank you to the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce for being the supporter of the What's Up Casselberry. Welcome back, listeners, to our favorite part of the show where we shine the spotlight on someone who is doing incredible things or an organization that is doing incredible things. And wrapped up in this one guest are both of those things. And so I am delighted today to welcome our guest, Miss Laura Chitty, who is going to share with us as she represents the Crossroads Corral in Longwood. But before we get into talking about the horses and the fun and the therapy and all the good stuff that happens over there, Laura, we just want to ask a couple of icebreaker questions
Sure.
for you, okay?
Okay.
Just for fun.
Okay.
what was, first of all, the best gift that you received over the holidays? And what was the best gift that you gave over the holidays?
See, that's difficult because I'm a mom of 3, so any time with the children is definitely a gift for me.
That is a good mom answer.
Yeah, it is. It is, but it is true. I worked a lot the last part of the year, and to be able to provide them a Christmas and get them the things that they wanted, which wasn't much. My kids are wonderful. They really don't ask for much, so it was nice to be able to be in a position to provide that for them.
I love it. What about you? What was the best gift you received?
Well, aside from the time with them, I received a beautiful set of earrings, and I also received a calendar from my 8-year-old that he made. And I am excited to use it for 2025, and he put his artistic spin on each month, and he did an amazing job, so I can't wait to have that up in the house.
That is awesome.
Well, it's up in the house. It just needs to be up.
Sure.
Since we're in 2025 now, even though it doesn't feel like it yet.
That is the gift that keeps on giving, because you can look at that every month.
Absolutely.
With a new piece of art.
Absolutely.
As we're getting to know you, we wanted to ask, if Hollywood was going to produce a movie about your life, what would it be called, and which actress would you like to play you?
I struggled with the name of it. However, I would definitely want Jennifer Lawrence. I feel like I connect with her. She's got a great sense of humor. She's, a little flaky as I can be, but she laughs at herself. She does, and that's very much how I am. I resort to joking or just in the uncomfortable direction, but she's beautiful. She's a very good actress, at least in my opinion, and I relate to her. As far as the movie name, I could not think of one, and because it could just be so much. It could be like
I was going to say, what genre would it be?
Comedy, crime, rom-com,
Action.
If I could get
sci-fi,
Film noir.
if I could get Joe Kenda
Horror.
to come out and be a part of that, it would probably be some comedy crime series of sorts. So, because I do watch a lot of my documentaries and real crime stories, read a lot of crime stories and things like that. So it would probably be, I definitely would want Joe Kenda in there somewhere. However, it would have a light spin to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is very interesting. Can we just go there a little bit?
Sure.
So you are into kind of the true crime podcasts,
Oh, yes.
that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yet you are also, and we didn't mention this in the introduction because this isn't what we're primarily here to talk about, but you're a law enforcement officer.
I am.
So isn't that kind of like taking your job home with you?
It is, but in a very unique way, because when you watch your documentaries, you get to see it from beginning to end. Being in law enforcement, we are a part of many people that put together an investigation. So it is really interesting to see patterns, behaviors of a criminal, how that's studied, how they catch them, and then how certain, DNA, victims, witnesses, video. We're in the world now where everything's on camera.
Yes.
Tracing people's steps back. I mean, it's just such a group effort when it comes to that, and that part of the job is very interesting to me.
I love that. So yeah, on the road you see a piece of the puzzle.
A piece of the
but
puzzle.
The
Yep.
true crime stuff allows you to see what the picture looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. So maybe I should have said this earlier too, but welcome home.
Thank you.
You're in the great city of Casselberry, where for a number of years you worked for the Casselberry Police Department.
I did.
But that was in the old building, and we are now in the new building.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen much of it other than the lobby in this community room.
I have not, but I hope to get with somebody in here that could possibly give me a tour prior to my exit.
I think I might just know the...
I think I know a guy.
First impressions?
It's beautiful. Very different. Nice and updated. I love all the pictures.
Just to
on the
clarify,
wall.
we're talking about the building, not Ron.
Correct.
But he's nice
but
and
he is
updated
beautiful,
too.
and he's brand new and up to date.
Listeners, sadly, this isn't a vlog, but he's blushing. He's blushing.
No, Ron was a great part of my career here. So, but yeah, no, it's a beautiful building. They did a really great job. I remember training in this. I mean, the building was torn down, but the old bowling alley. I mean, we trained in it, and this piece of property has been so desolate for so long. It's nice to finally see some life to it.
Love it.
So since your time at the Casselberry Police Department, you served at Lake Mary and in Winter Springs. What's your favorite memory of your time here, of working at the Casselberry Police Department?
Other than Sergeant Ron Phillips.
Other than Sergeant Ron Phillips, I would say, I mean, the camaraderie, this place built my law enforcement career. It allowed me different personalities and policing types to really learn from. So I'm going to leave it in that area of just, it is such an important part of my professional development, and I have a lot of appreciation for this agency.
I love that. And listeners, just to put some context together, we're recording 2 shows at once. So the episode you heard a couple of weeks ago with Sergeant Ron, he's still in the room,
He's been here for weeks.
He's been here for weeks, and he still looks great.
But he said the same thing, right? The culture here is very formative for people. And
I would have to agree with that. So it really shaped my law enforcement path. So
I love it. But we're not here to talk about your professional life, as interesting as that is.
No.
We are here to talk about a passion that is very close to your heart.
Yes.
The work you do with Crossroads Corral. Now, many of our listeners may have heard of Crossroads Corral. I'm sure there are some who haven't. But tell us about that organization, what the vision, what the mission is, what you do, why you do what you do.
Sure. So people may have seen the horses on Longwood Hills Road. There's a big open jump field. They may have seen the jumps out there and wondered what that was. Well, that is where we are now. When I started volunteering for Crossroads, they were in Sanford. Julie Hester and Lindsay Brim are the founders of this amazing organization that's been in place it's been in place for 10 years already. And their vision was to utilize their horsemanship, their knowledge of horses. They both grew up with horses, riding and shows, and wanted to be able to utilize the horses and impact mental health in the helping of others, especially those affected by PTS, depression, and our first responders, especially veterans. We handle domestic violence victims of sex trafficking. It branches out to many and any that need anything, and they wanted to develop a different approach to your clinical sitting in an office.
Yeah. How does equine therapy work? What's the kind of healing part of it? Is it the interaction with the animals? Is it the kind of freedom of riding? Just help me kind of.
Sure.
I'm familiar with therapy.
I'm sure there's more to it than this, but I was on the website, and there's a section of it that says Meet the Herd, and you look at the horses, and they have their names under there and a little bio on them, and that made me feel better. So I'm sure there's more to the therapy than that, but I already feel better from looking at that website.
We don't utilize riding. We don't. So nobody. I know that there is a little bit of a fear when it comes to horses because they are so big. They are so. Grand. I mean, they could really hurt somebody if not, I mean, these are really majestic animals, but they also are very sensitive emotionally. They're prey animals, so they're constantly aware of their surroundings. So they pick up on different types of feelings, energies. They can feel your heartbeat within like 4 feet of you. And I know that if I come in, because I help with cleaning the stalls, and each horse has their own personality. So if I come in and I'm stressed out and I bring that energy into the stall or bringing them out, I'm expecting them to react to that. And that's basically how they're utilized. So it's just having them around. it's kind of an activity based. So you have a therapist and then you have an equine specialist. The equine specialist will set up certain activities for you to, I don't know, exemplify, something in life that you have to go over. So we have many tools. I mean, it could be hula hoops, little, toys. It's just something to create a barrier that you see in your life. Mm-hmm. And then you work with the therapist and you work with the equine specialist who gives you a set of directions before you do this activity. And you can pick your horse, and all about how you pick the horse, which horse it is, and the exercise that you choose to do, and how you accomplish that is basically the therapy. It may not even encompass.
I see. So when Carlos jokes about the website, that's not just some nice little naming branding thing. Mm-hmm. That's actually part of the therapy.
100%. So we do equine assisted learning.
Sorry, that's new to me, Carlos.
Well, I mean, I do improv, so Andy's used to me not ever being serious.
Okay.
So I think I caught him off guard.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, our horses, they do have their own personalities, and they do have, one, is really good at boundaries. He is a little more challenging. He's not.
Can we get him an appointment with Ron? Is that?
Absolutely. I'd love to. So, but yeah, some of the horses, they have their personality. One of them is really good. Like I was saying, he's kind of like a toddler. So if you want him to do something, you gotta figure out how to do it. And it could take you not, you're not able to touch them. You're not able to bribe them or call them by name, or, you're given a list of rules. So you have to figure out other methods to get this horse to move over your activity and move through whatever it is you're working through. And then that becomes the symbol for your life. What is it that you're working through? Have you encountered things where you haven't been able to maybe communicate the way you've wanted to, but was the goal accomplished? And that in itself is empowering. Yeah. So, and yes, there is the psychotherapy, which there is a therapist there, and that is there. I would love for you to have one of them on so they can really get into the...
Well, Carlos gets nervous around psychotherapy.
Okay.
Less nervous than around horses, so...
Fair enough. But our team is amazing. They're very sweet, and they offer that as a...
I love that. That's fascinating. It's a fascinating field, no pun intended.
Yeah.
So you're on the board for the Crossroads Corral, correct?
I am, yes.
Now, I'm imagining that requires a little bit of a time commitment. Mm-hmm. Where does your passion come from? How did you find out about this? How did you get involved? And how do you continue doing it?
Sure. I'm going to give the credit to my mom. It was dealing...
That's always a good move.
It was. So I visited her in Tennessee, and she was a part of a barn there who helped children with disabilities, and she was part of that. Her process was just taking care of the horses, making sure she would lead them out with the children and things like that. And it was just such an amazing opportunity to be a part of. And I got back to Florida, and I remember talking to a coworker, and I'm like, there has got to be something here that can do that. And I feel like working at Lake Mary Police Department, that kind of made that connection for me, because another coworker came across Crossroads and let me know about it. And I signed up the next day to at least just, volunteer. I would muck stalls. I'll do anything, I just want to be around them. And that's basically how that was born. And just being in a position of who they help, what their purpose is, how it identifies with me as a law enforcement officer, and also some personal things that I've gone through in life, and how that made that connection. It was just a no-brainer for me. And I have always told them they would have to trespass me from the property to get me to go away. And luckily, I joke around a lot too with them. So, but they are just what they bring to the community can be so much. And getting them out there and letting, especially our first responders, know that they're there and to offer that help. So, but yeah.
I mean, this is fascinating for me, who's in the kind of caring for people's space. What would be some stories, or a story, without obviously revealing any personal details, that you and the team there would consider a success, right? I mean, is there a person who came in as X and left as Y? I mean, how does that?
Well, some of them that I'm familiar with are volunteers now, and I can think of two that have become very close personal friends of mine that have gone through. One came in doing the going through the therapy side of it, and she loved it so much that she's now an equine specialist as well. So she already has that knowledge. We have one as well who was riddled with anxiety. She was very quiet all the time. Beautiful soul, very quiet, just, would come and do her thing. Beautiful laugh. She just has so much good about her. And she finally came out of her shell, and she's part of our board now. And she's really taken on a lot of initiative to move through that anxiety bubble and get out of her comfort zone. And it's just been amazing to watch. And I know that it's a lot of being a part of something that you feel strongly about, but just to see it. Yeah. And to see somebody's eyes really light up and really take control of the reins, if you will, and just blossom. It's just really, really amazing to watch.
I love that, and I love that they've now experienced both sides of the program, right? Like we're talking about with the Christmas gift question, right? Yeah. They're givers and receivers.
Right. Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So one thing we thought interesting was on the website. The website is that it showed that there was some corporate opportunities, some team building activities and stuff. So could you walk us through what does that look like and kind of what are the benefits?
Sure. So the team building exercise, I'm actually utilizing this to plug into the Winter Springs Police Department to have this as part of our training. Cool. It is a corporate team building event, and it's not an event on a grand scale. It's bringing a small group of people to the barn, and they go through the assisted learning process. So it's basic. You're just with an equine specialist. This is not a therapy. This is just putting those barriers, building those barriers within the field, and utilizing whichever horse, how many horses in doing these tasks and doing these activities to get people to communicate better, or it's just something fun for them to do, and it brings that connection to them.
Yeah. As you said, I'm already thinking of a couple of teams that I'm a part of that might be fun too.
Absolutely. Please come on out. We would love to have it. Something different. It's just as, any other, you go out to dinner or you go axe throwing or doing something to that nature, something to get people together. Yeah. But this is, it gives you just a taste of how the therapy side works as well.
I love it. It's a little softer than some of the...
Sure.
A little more natural than some of the forced.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Robin, do you think we can shoot our next episode on location?
Yeah.
I would love to have you.
On horseback.
I have one I could put. I know exactly who I could put and where.
I don't know if that would be fair for the horse for me to sit on.
Our horses are very patient, and they're wonderful.
I would need a really patient one. If it wasn't patient, I would become the patient, I think.
We'll take care of you. Don't worry.
Laura, we are running out of time.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
We love what you're doing, but maybe what's most important is how can people find out more about what you do? There's probably some leaders listening who want to build stronger teams.
Absolutely.
The reality is there's probably some people who are hurting who want to look for some healing in that. And it sounds like that's something you can help with as well. So how do people find out more about the work you do, website, all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. So the website is our main focus when it comes to that connection with the doctors and with the our therapists are in their own practices, and this is a part of their therapy tools. So if you go to our website, we are also on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook as well, and we're always posting events. We will be having a golf tournament here shortly, so be on the lookout for that.
All right. And that's
crossroadscorral.org.
.org, yes.
And then on social media, Crossroads Corral.
Yes. Yep. Crossroads Corral on Facebook and on Instagram. That's the handle on both of them.
Sergeant Phillips is wondering if you have a TikTok account.
Not yet, but we might be in the market for some of that.
It sounds like he wants to run it for you. So
That'd be okay. That'd be all right. I'd trust him with it.
Laura, thank you so much for joining us today. We know you have a lot going on.
Well, thank you.
And we love what you're doing
Thank
and
you.
how it benefits the people of Casselberry and Seminole County and those who serve us. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Well, thank you, Laura, for your time with us today. It was really fascinating learning about the Crossroads Corral and the benefits of equine therapy. We appreciate all the amazing work that staff there is doing.
Let me wrap up with an inspirational moment today. As we've talked at the top of the show about MLK, so we will close with a quote from him. Perhaps one that for some reason isn't as broadly known as some of the others. But I love this quote. MLK said, "Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. You will make a better person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in." That's a reminder to me that people matter, that how we care, how we serve, how we support, how we stand up for people changes everything. It makes us better. It creates a stronger country and a better world to live in. So thank you, Martin Luther King, for that quote.
And thank you, listener, for listening to another episode of the What's Up Casselberry podcast. This podcast is produced by Robin Kepi, hosted by Carlos Pereiro and Andy Searles and Alia Ray. For more information, visit us at whatsupcasselberry.com. Until next time, have a great week.